on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Expect the unexpected.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented by The Sportscast.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk with Victor Arocho and Byron Jones. And here's your host, Victor Arocho.
Yes. Live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho, brought to you by the Sportscast. Today is February 8th, 2024. Time's flying. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to Sportscast on all our channels, YouTube, X, Spotify, iTunes. And if you have iTunes or if you have Spotify, please subscribe to our podcast called The Jersey Boys Sports Talk. You can subscribe, hit the smash button if you like our show today. We got some guests coming on. Smash the like button on YouTube. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube every Thursday at 8 p.m. Please subscribe, leave a review, ask your questions, your comments. We'd love to hear about what you think about the show. Any comments or questions and opinions, we would like to hear you. And if you want to join our show, please join our show. So let's get ready to rumble. Mr. Byron Jones, how are you doing today?
I'm wonderful, man. It is great weather around here. I just love it.
All right, so time out. What's great weather so our guests know what great weather is?
50 degrees.
Oh, really? It's great weather here, too. It's like 74, so we're good.
Whatever, man. You can just
All
go
right.
rub it in, right?
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a little cold, you know. It gets a little cold lately. It was cold these last few days. I slept really good, so I'm pretty excited. So let's get this going. So we have a couple of our guests.
Did you sleep with your Snuggie on? Did you have a Snuggie?
I did. I slept with my hoodie.
There you go.
And I got a weighted blanket.
Damn, man. Really?
Yeah, bro. You have no idea. I have, me. I get up super early. I don't sleep well, so I just hopefully I get to grow up and be like you and retire. So we have some of our great guests in the waiting room. We're going to bring them on right now. We're excited about talking about the Super Bowl. I got some questions that I want to ask. I want to get some opinions, and then we'll go from there. And I got something here that I want to keep it on mute, but I have it going because they're asking good questions. Right. All right, let's go. Let's bring in all righty. We're going to bring out to the stage. All righty. So we'll bring out on the stage. All right. We got our regular guest host, Mr. Alex Quirk, our resident Giant fan from Maine. Oh, the cold capital of Maine. You're 52. I'm 70-something. And what's the weather over there, Alex?
It was in the high 30s, and I think it's supposed to get to 55 on Saturday, so I'm very excited.
Ooh, heat wave.
Oh,
that's
heat
right.
Wave 55. Oh, so you catching up to Byron. All right, good. And then we got Mr. Big Philly. He is the host of his own podcast. Tell us a little bit about your show and your podcast. What can you hear about your show and your podcast, Mr. Big Philly?
Follow us right here on Miami Fan Talk Network, right here on the YouTube channel. You can go on X. You can go on Twitch, Facebook, IG, all Miami Fan Talk Show, Miami Fan Talk Network, the home of the fans built. We cover the Dolphins as usual. You can see my gear on, although we're a little depressed. But it's all right though. But we also cover all sports, all different channels, all different teams. I might say we're working on that. Getting some more co-hosts. Kind of like how you guys have it set up. That was always my vision, but how they used to. How the podcasting.
Well, we enjoy your show and listen to the show too. Big Philly's the link to Big Philly's show is going to be in the bottom, so please click on his show. Please rate, leave him a review, leave him comments. They got good comments. If you are a Dolphin fan, that is definitely the show to be on. I'm gonna tell you right now.
I will say this.
There are no joke Dolphin fans on that show, just so you know.
I will say this with the show, with the network itself. Keep a lookout for any the Journey episodes. They're usually Friday nights. I love a good journey, right? We had on Ricky, who's a rookie coming out in this draft class from TCU. Last year we had a couple of guys from the XFL, a couple guys from like D3 college ball. You know, that journey, that unconventional route that some guys don't take, or they do take to get to the NFL, right? So keep a lookout for the journey with me and my co-host Turbo. We had a lot of fun the last show with
All right.
Ricky. Keep a lookout for that show as well Friday night.
Awesome. So we're gonna get into that a little bit more as we end the show, so we can talk about your show a little bit more, and we'll go from there. So welcome to the show. Every time you say TCU, Byron, for some reason I always relate you. I know you're Tulsa, but I always relate you with TCU because I always remember you had an offer over there. By the way, Byron had several offers, but I know TCU was one of them, and then he went to the University of Tulsa.
I transferred.
Okay, so you
from
did go to
TCU.
TCU. I knew there was you had TCU roots because I think of you TCU first because you went there first, right?
Yeah,
and then that's
the guy show went the other way around. He actually started at East Carolina, and then transferred to TCU the year after. So the last season is when he went to TCU senior year. Played in Colorado, played against Colorado. Had a half sack, but they didn't count it on Sanders. It's a nice half sack, but they didn't count it. But it was fun. I was talking a little bit about the Colorado game and how was it like playing against them and Prime. It was fun. It was a fun interview. I got to say, it was a lot of fun interview.
Awesome. We'll check out the show. All right. Well, let's get into it. All righty. So I'm looking at some things here. We got some questions going on. Now we could all agree that Brock Purdy is not a fraud, right? The guy has done good. You agreed last week. Don't change your mind, Byron. Alex, you run the show. He admitted it wasn't. You can't call him a fraud. You may not call him whatever you want to call him, but he's no longer a fraud. But
he called Daniel Jones a fraud. You can't call him a fraud.
Well, he didn't call Daniel Jones. He didn't call Daniel Jones a fraud. Let's not get into that.
Hold on. We're putting Daniel Jones and Brock Purdy in the same sentence, other than two quarterbacks in the NFL.
What I'm saying is you call Daniel Jones a fraud, respectfully. But you can't call Brock Purdy.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't think Daniel Jones is a fraud, but we kind of got hurt on that. We got caught on that contract. We'll get into that a little bit later. Hold on. That's all right. That was good. That's a good one. We'll get into that one. But I want to ask a question that they've been talking about. Who is under more pressure? And Byron, I want you to get going on this one. Who is under more pressure Sunday, Purdy or Mahomes?
Purdy.
And why?
Well, you figure last year he got hurt, and they probably would have done a little bit better, with him at quarterback. But him being, number the last guy picked in the draft, nobody expected him, to be there. And now, by being in a Super Bowl, now it's under the bright lights. It's going to be seen worldwide, and it's going to be it's different than when the conference finals or whatever. But now everybody's going to see it, and it's going to be a little bit different because now you figure what they got Usher at halftime, so the halftime's going to be a little bit longer, and it's going to be a lot of different stuff going on that he's not going to be used to at all.
Energy is different too.
All right, Alex.
It's 100% Brock Purdy. What does Mahomes have to lose if he loses this game? He's still a two-time Super Bowl champion at the age of, 28, 29 years old. He's got another how many years, assuming, knock on wood, no catastrophic injury derails his career. I mean, it's not going to be nice if he loses what he now is 2-2 in the Super Bowl, if he loses, but it's 100% Purdy. I think really because a lot of the people would say part of the reason San Francisco didn't make the Super Bowl last year was because of Purdy's injury. This is an opportunity for him to really show that, I was the difference maker last year.
You're muted.
Big Philly?
I would say definitely Brock Purdy, obviously being Mr. Irrelevant. He has more to prove. You want to dethrone the top guy, right? You want to dethrone the dog, the king, Mr. Patrick Mahomes, Mr. 4 out of the 5 times he's been there already?
Yep.
Past 5 years, 4 out of 5 years.
No.
So,
yeah.
He's been like 4 or 5.
I'm sorry, he had 6. So, he's been to 6 straight AFC championships.
Yeah,
but he's been
yeah, exactly. So, to dethrone somebody like Patrick Mahomes, again, next year will be a contract year for him, if I'm not mistaken, because he was a 7th round pick. So this is a lot to prove here. You know, you win the Super Bowl here. You're talking about extensions a lot earlier, more money. He said it himself. He can barely pay rent in San Francisco. That boy needs some money, bro. But there's one guy that you're not talking about that I think has more to lose.
Hold on a second. We'll get to the my show is structured, baby. So I'm gonna coach you on. I got to keep you under control. So here's the deal, because now it's my turn. It's my turn because I always got to make the opposite side. So whatever you guys
who's under pressure more,
right? Who's under pressure? Let's stick with that, and then we can go into some. Okay, I'll come back to you. All right, so that's funny that he can't pay. Listen to me. He still makes $1 million. So if he can't pay rent in San Francisco, something's wrong because everybody's leaving San Francisco. It's under siege. Like the hotels are shut down. There's a lot of crime. It's crazy. That's a different story. But all right. So I'm gonna run the opposite way because I was trying to listen to a little bit of a first take and see what they were saying there. I like what everybody has to say. Regarding that Brock Purdy has more to prove. But, for me, I'm going to take, Mahomes has more to prove, right? They had a terrible offensive year, right? They got a phenomenal defense. They had a terrible offensive year, right? To the point that, thank God, Kadarius Toney isn't playing, number one. Number two, they remember, and I was on your show, I think, Big Philly. I told you that the only team that I think that could just turn it on in the playoffs, if they turn it on, would be the Kansas City Chiefs, only because their defense is playing great and they got Patrick Mahomes, right? So that's that. The next thing is, if Patrick Mahomes wins this Super Bowl, he'll be the first NFL player amongst like 6 players, and 3 of them were people that were before most of you were born, like Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, Stan Musial, right? That has won 2 MVPs and 3 world titles within his first 6-7 years of playing in a professional sport. There's like 1 hockey player and there's 3 baseball players. None of them are football players. Nobody has a helmet. So to do what he has to do. So that's that. The other thing is that Patrick Mahomes, why I feel that the more pressure is on him. I mean, when we always talk sports and games, the first thing that most commentators, analysts, and even us, what we do is we battle quarterback against quarterback, right? We're like, okay, Aaron against this guy. You got Patrick Mahomes, bona fide superstar, possibly on his way to maybe catching Brady, right? Playing against the last pick, right? If you don't beat him, you know what I mean? That's pressure, in my opinion, right? And I think they may even be the underdogs, which may be the first time, right?
Yeah, 2-point underdogs.
They're the underdogs, which is already telling you, like, why would they be the underdogs? I'm going to tell you where my pick is and why afterwards. So, I just wanted to have a little bit different flavor. I could go either way. I think your arguments are sound, all of you, but I'm going to go the opposite only because I want to give a different point of view. Patrick Mahomes has a lot more to prove. He wants to get to that GOAT status, right?
Would be the argument, yeah.
You want to get to that GOAT status. You can't lose against the last pick. You know what I mean? I mean, at the bottom line is you got to play to beat them. And think about it. San Francisco has had to come behind twice to get to the Super Bowl, number one. And number two, they better not let Patrick Mahomes get ahead of them, number one. And number two, Patrick Mahomes can come from behind. So you got a problem either way. So I'm going to move a little bit more towards Patrick Mahomes because he has more at stake, his legacy. Purdy wins. He gets a contract. He makes his money. He could become, like you said, Daniel Jones, right?
Man, leave my guy alone.
Gets his $90 million, then it's done. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that's not the case. But anyhow, that's why
the GOAT debate takes another level if Pat Mahomes wins. And it's not that like it completely dissipates if he doesn't, but he will be on a ridiculous pace of 3 Super Bowls in 5 years at the age of 28, which I know Brady, I think, was at about that pace where it's like, if he doesn't win, then you're right. It's like, they're going to probably start rebuilding. Most likely Kelsey's retiring, most likely. So, I can see both sides. I just think Purdy, it's more so that like Mahomes isn't like going anywhere if he loses this game. You don't know about Purdy if he loses this game.
Nah, Purdy ain't going anywhere, bro.
In theory.
Stop
You know,
lying, Vic.
I think he's his quarterback. Purdy's going to get paid. He's already proved his worth. His statistics, his numbers are there. But I just think overall, and we'll get into that next. Anyhow, that's where I'm going with Mahomes. I think your arguments are good, but I think Mahomes said it. It's he wants to leave a legacy. He's been on national TV saying he wants to leave a legacy. When you say that nationally, the pressure's on you. Brock Purdy's hoping to pay rent, according to Big Philly. So his pressure is to pay rent. Mahomes' pressure is the legacy. Go ahead, Byron.
San Francisco is kind of expensive, man. I know somebody lives there right now. Their rent is like $6,000, some crazy amount, man, for like a 2-bedroom. So
okay. So let's make it for the mathematically disabled. 6,000 times 12 is $72,000, and $72,000 out of $1 million is still less than 10%.
He has 900. Well, he's at 900,000.
Taxes out in California,
and then taxes. He's getting taxed like crazy.
Dude, I don't ever want to hear about somebody's worrying about paying rent, making $1 million a year. I just don't want to hear it.
Well,
in California,
I don't care.
I just want to say he may be making $1 million a year, but after taxes, he ain't really making $1 million a year. And I will say this: let's be real. It has nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes' legacy. You just want to see Travis Kelce pop the question to take his win.
What did it take?
Let's get it.
15 minutes. There we go.
Yeah, that's Big Philly. It goes that's Big Philly for you. So, but hey, listen to me. Look, I don't want to get into that. So anyhow, all right. So let's go. So the pressure right there is there now. Do we consider the Chiefs a dynasty even if they lose Sunday? Alex.
They don't solidify the status, but that's assuming they can go back and win. But if they lose this, no, I'm not calling them a dynasty. It's a great run they've been on, but dynasty for me, the rule is 3.
Byron,
same thing.
Great long answer.
No.
Big Philly.
I concur.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's a dynasty regardless.
Okay, listen. No. I think 3.
Would you call Brady a dynasty if you only won 2?
I think 3 is considered a dynasty. I would agree with Alex. I mean, that's all I'm saying is elaborate on that. Just concur, and I agree. It doesn't help me. I think 3 is a dynasty. I think they're going to be back there again because I think that the fact that they played so poorly offensively this year and make it to the Super Bowl is scary, right? And Big Philly, this goes to you now. I'm going to come out at the Dolphins, right? You guys made it. Well, it may not have been Big Philly, but I'm going to go at the Dolphins because it could be you or Papa Paul, right? But we're all together. Remember, everybody was discounting the Chiefs because they got rid of Tyreek Hill. They're back to the second Super Bowl without him. Now, could they have used him? Hell yeah. Everybody can.
Just keep ripping the fucking Band-Aid off the wound, please.
PG show. PG show. Remember that. PG
sorry. I'm sorry. My show is full of filth. No kids, please.
Yeah. So my point being is that they're scary, and I think they're gonna. If they don't get this one, they're going to get their third one. I just think. I don't think it's going to happen. So, but I think
I don't think they're going to get a third one because they're going to lose. Chris Jones is up for free agency. They're going to, and he's a big piece on that defense.
Yeah,
he's a big part of that.
If you're talking about, look at it like this, right? And I agree with Coach B. Think about it like this: you lose Chris Jones, right, to free agency because he's gonna lose. But then again, there's a lot of D tackles coming out of this free agency class, so they may pick up somebody else, but he's not going to be as effective as Chris Jones is, right? Now, I think Alex mentioned it earlier, or it might have been you, I'm not sure. The possibility of Travis Kelce retiring. That's another big piece of that offense. So if you lose both those guys this offseason, one to retirement, one to free agency. I don't know. I mean, it's still Patty. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you're losing 2 key guys, 2 key veterans, 2 key captains two guys for that locker room that mold that locker room together. Two big personalities. So it may be more challenging than what we're thinking with with Kansas City trying to make it back there for a third time.
Okay, great points. But let me ask you a question. One, Chris Jones, he signed a 1-year deal because he held out. That's all he's selling. Okay, all right. Number one. Number two, we talked about Kelsey possibly retiring, right? His brother's not retiring, and his brother's older.
Yeah.
Number one, okay. Number
But
two,
there's mix about that. I don't know about that.
hold on one second. Let me go. Okay. Number one, his brother's not retiring. To me, I think if they win a Super Bowl, I can see Kelsey retiring. If they lose, I can see Kelsey coming back. That's number one. Number two, Chris Jones. Chris Jones didn't really gain much on holding out and still signed with them. So there's no guarantee he's just going to run and leave.
All right.
So
Okay.
But wait a second. Let me finish. Let's say he does. Okay. Now you got Kelsey, you got Chris Jones, and Tyreek Hill. Now I'm gonna bring Tyreek Hill back in the mix. Okay. Tyreek Hill was a major factor, as Kelsey, but Tyreek Hill was a major factor in their 2 Super Bowl wins. No, he was in one of their wins, right? Because they won one without him, right? So they lost Tyreek Hill and they're back at the Super Bowl. They lost Tyreek Hill and they won with the Super Bowl. Spags has done a great job for a long time in defense. I love Chris Jones. Don't get me wrong. And it's hard to replace a guy with Chris Jones, but I don't think that's going to decimate that team, and especially in that conference right now. Now with Harbaugh coming to that conference with Justin Herbert, I think they may have some problems, right? Alex?
Well, I was also looking at just like doing a little forecasting. Apparently, not that it's a significant jump, but Pat Mahomes' cap hit is going up. I think it's at like 50 something. It's going up to 57 next year and 63 in 2 years. So, and then it goes back down again. So, like these next couple of years are going to be very trying if they don't win today. But I kind of see it as
then who's the pressure now? Who's the pressure on?
Fair enough. I think that this is the ending of the window, and because of having lived in New England my entire life, there will probably be some middling, decent down years before potentially they could ramp back up. That's why this is the end of this window that they've had the last 6-7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the only difference is that they have like some of the receivers that they have, like Rice, has come, the kid from SMU has, blossomed, Scanling, and a couple of other receivers. But those guys are on the cheap. They're cheap right now. But then you're going to have, Mahomes is going to get paid. He said the $57 million. They're not going to be able to pay Chris Jones. Snead, one of their corners, is going to be paid. Bolton, one of the linebackers, is going to be paid. A lot of these guys, our contracts are coming up, where they're not going to be able to do, what they've been doing. Like, we're going to spread the love because, Patrick is not that much. But now it's going to go up. And Chris Jones is not going to get paid because of that reason. You got $57 million for quarterback. And I don't know what Aaron Donald, whatever.
According to Sportsback, $28 million is what he's commanding.
Yeah.
Who?
Chris Jones, $28 million.
Yeah, he's not.
He's going to get it.
Somebody else.
Somebody else gonna pay him. That's why he's gone.
Giants.
That's right. We're back, baby.
Y'all gotta get rid of Jones first before y'all do that.
Man, leave my guy alone.
Hey,
time out. Alex, last week, didn't he already surrender on Daniel Jones?
I changed my mind.
You can't flip every
I'm flipping like a dolphin. I'm flipping like a dolphin.
We don't flip.
Byron has no idea that these. See, Big Philly. Here's the problem with Byron and age. He has no idea that these are recorded and they're legacies. So we can go back to the recording.
I don't prove it. Man,
I will say your rookie came out. Your rookie, I can't say his name because it's long and weird. That your end or your linebacker, I forget his name.
Oh, Thibodeau.
Thibodeau. There we go. Thibodeau came out and said on a news article that he was upset that they didn't pay Barkley, Saquon, but they paid Daniel Jones, and he felt that Saquon played a bigger role in the playoff year than your own quarterback did.
No, but he could say that, but he didn't. That playoff year, Daniel Jones was like the highest rated deep thrower in the league.
Hey, he
His
came out with
percentage,
numbers.
he was balling. Number one,
Okay, but
number
say you
two,
think-
Remember the league. I'm going to say what you're saying. But you got to tell me, is that what you believe, or you just repeating what is in the news?
I'm
Then
sorry,
that's a different
the
debate.
New York Giants, I think of Saquon Barkley.
Okay, so here's the
You said
deal.
what people are
I
saying.
love
I'm saying
Saquon.
it.
I have no problem. But it's about the market. You understand? So he didn't take.
Let me ask you this.
No running backs getting paid. The only ones
Let
got
me
paid
ask
was Chris
you this,
McCaffrey.
When you think of the Tennessee Titans, who do you think of?
When I think of
Derrick
the
Henry.
Tennessee Titans,
Henry,
I
yeah.
think no, I think
No,
of I
you
think
think
of
Derrick Henry.
and Vrabel
Think of
and their coach.
Vrabel did pop in my brain too.
Yeah.
Vrabel, I think
Nobody
Vrabel.
cares about Vrabel. He on his way out. When you think of the Tennessee Titans, you think of one guy and one guy only. The first one that comes off your mind, Derrick Henry.
Right.
When I think of the New York Giants, it's not
I'm a real Philly in because we're in
Reel me in.
this is the Super Bowl
Hey,
show.
no.
This is the Super Bowl show.
It's the
So,
Negro
the Giants
show.
on the
this
Super
ain't
Bowl?
the Dolphin show. This ain't the other show. I'm gonna reel you in, and we're gonna stay focused on my show.
Hey, they said
Okay.
you wanted to debate.
I do. I'm willing to debate,
man.
but I want to debate Super Bowl. That's what I want to debate. So I got to reel you back in because now you're going to take us somewhere in a shiny nickel, different direction. Let me go. My
Hey, I'm
fault.
just
Bring
giving
it in.
niggas
All right.
no better.
Shiny nickel.
on my-
Hence why he's wearing a Dolphin shirt. All right. So let's get going. All right. So now, does Andy Reid retire this year if he wins the Super Bowl? Is the question.
Well, they go eat some more.
Byron?
Yes, I would go out in the blaze of glory. Ain't nothing. Look at our guy. Michael Strahan. Retired, took the Super Bowl with him, and kept it moving. I'd do the same thing. If he wins this year, Andy Reid, I would go ahead and retire. I move to. I wouldn't move to Florida, but move somewhere and be done with it, and give the job to Eric Bieniemy. How about that?
That would be nice. Alex?
Now, is this on the hypothetical the Chiefs win, or are we just regardless of result?
I think I would probably, if they don't win, Andy Reid's competitiveness is going to want to come back, especially because his offense didn't perform, the way it should have performed, right? So let's just assume it's based on a win.
I don't think he retires just yet. I was just actually looking that up at the beginning of the show of his age because I was like, how old is he? He's been coaching forever. He is
70, right?
65.
Nah, 65.
Man, he looks a lot.
why I
He
looked at
looks a lot older than
Carroll.
Belichick, and Belichick's 70.
You're thinking of Pete Carroll is the one who's the oldest.
Pete Carroll looks good for his age.
Yeah, Pete Carroll's like in his early to mid 70s. That's why I don't see Reid retiring, win or loss. I see him going a few more years.
Okay, Big Philly.
He got way too many burgers still left to eat.
What's better than the burger you just win? The next burger.
See, that's a great answer. It is true. I've seen Andy Reid in more commercials than he was ever in Philly.
Nah,
Is that
he was
true?
never. Nah, yeah, that's true.
He's got too much. He wants to create that.
And he's pretty funny in those commercials, Do I think Andy Reid retires? If I was Andy Reid in his life, I think if he wins the Super Bowl, I would retire because he's had a rough NFL life. Like, because he lost his son, right? His son committed suicide in the locker room. I mean, he's given a lot to the NFL, right? Why not just go out in the blaze of glory? I mean, he could still do.
And the other one got
things.
locked up. Don't forget about the other one too.
Yeah, I mean, he's just that, that's what happens when unfortunately, and blessings to his family. I feel bad. This is no knock on the Reid family. This is no knock on Andy Reid. It's just that football's taken a toll on his family life, right? So when, he's how many championships, conference NFC and AFC championships has he had? He's got a lot. Okay. He's got close to like 10. He's got 6 here, right? And he's got how many with Philly? Philly had like 3 or 4, right?
Philly just had 1.
One.
He only went to the
He went
NFC
to the
Championship.
NFC Championship a bunch, but they kept choking every time until they finally won.
Time out. That was my comment. My comment
Oh,
was
I
how
think
many conference
championship.
championships has he gone to?
Fair.
Nobody,
Okay, I misunderstood.
nobody judges a coach on how many times they get there. They only judge them on how many times they win.
That's true.
Yep.
Hence Shula. That's why we don't consider him a great coach. That's why.
Whoa!
So I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that for another discussion.
Whoa!
Byron brought that up. Remember, right, Byron? You brought that up with Big Pop on the show, and they was like, "What do you mean you don't count him?" So we'll our next afterwards, Big Philly
coach.
Big Philly, when we come back after the Super Bowl, you're gonna come back.
You can't do that.
We'll have this debate. You know, it's a cliffhanger. It's like one of those episodes until next season, right?
That's
so you gotta wait till I didn't
Don't
say.
Don't make me bring Pete up.
Time out.
He's not saying it, but
Byron made look at Byron's hand made the comment, but you said it's based on wins. All right, you winning.
He's the most winningest coach in the NFL history.
Right.
And how many
Super Bowls?
He won 2.
That's it.
He won. Yeah, with Miami, right?
I don't count the almost like somebody's trying to do.
Wait a second. Andy Reid's already got 2.
Okay, but who's got more wins?
Okay, but Andy Reid's going to have more Super Bowls.
For the record.
Wait a second. We just said a dynasty's 3 wins. If he wins, Andy Reid built the dynasty. Shula didn't.
Okay, I get that. He's got more Super Bowl wins.
Is anyone referring to the Dolphins in a dynasty?
If that's the case, then Bill Belichick will be the greatest coach of all time.
He is the greatest coach of all time.
I'm not debating.
There's no confusion. He is the greatest coach of all time.
But for you to say,
I'm just saying, I know how to get that in there for you, but we're gonna bring you back. You know how to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being. I hate to do this to you. I'll be right back. Hold on. All right. So now. I can't let him do it. Big Philly, you know I love you, baby. We're gonna come back to that. I promise. But Byron's got to get in. So I'm the guy poking the fight, but I ain't fighting. I'm gonna have Byron and you guys go at it. Okay. So let's continue. All right. So what are the keys? Okay. So now here's my concern. Here's my concerns on both sides of the teams, and then I want to say you guys. I'm gonna first start with San Francisco. My concern with San Francisco is they have not been playing the dominant football that they've played when they had all their players. They have all their players now, right? They have all their players now, but they're not playing dominant. They've been coming back from behind in both games, right? What do you think is going to happen in the Super Bowl, and what do you think they're going to need to do to make that change, Byron?
Well, first they got to stop the run. They haven't been really good at stop and run, at all. People have run the ball on them. They are missing. They had an All-Pro safety, that's been out all year, for with a knee injury, and that probably affected the back end. But Chase Young, the second player picked in the draft, is not playing like one, not even close. They've been talking about him limiting his snaps because his run defense, because he's still doing the splash play. He wants to make the big play, and basically you can run at him. You can like Nick Bosa on the other side, being a great pass rusher, but he does stop the run very well. But,
he's balling.
He's all right.
He had 2 sacks last game. He's made some things.
He's all right, man.
He's doing his job.
You run the ball at him too. He's great at the pass rush, but you got to run the ball at him, and that's what they're going to do because Pacheco is supposedly not hurt, with the toe or ankle, whatever he's got going on. But the Chiefs have to be able to run the ball against these guys.
All right, we got another guest coming on, sports analyst, college coach, high school champion coach, Mr. Andre Gispert. We have the Phantom. We haven't seen him in a long time. Mr. Andre Gispert. Welcome back to the Jersey Boys Sports Shop. We missed you, my brother. Oh, hold on. You got to unmute yourself now. Unmute.
Sorry. As you guys know, during recruiting season, I have a gag order. I'm not allowed to be on any podcasts during recruiting season.
We need a gag order for a couple of our guests today.
I've heard. My goodness, holy cow! You're having fun with that mute button too, though.
I love this. I love this stream. Yeah. By the way, Big Philly, Andres, you guys too. Oh my God! If I get two of you at the same time going at it, I don't know how I'm gonna stop the show. So
just put pastelitos.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back, Andres. How's it going? How's the team? How's the recruiting? Everything going well?
Recruiting is tough, brother. That's a conversation for another day. I mean, let's face reality. Now you're recruiting the kids in your building. You're recruiting kids outside your building, and you're recruiting kids. It's a dynamic. It's a paradigm shift of epic proportions, and that's a subject for another day. But let's talk about this Super Bowl, baby. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited.
So who has more to prove, in your opinion, Purdy or Mahomes?
Mahomes. It's his throne to defend. He's basically has to prove that it's not just his talent and the system. It's to prove now that they can beat a very defensively sound team. Let's face reality. What happened last year to the 49ers was heartbreaking. They didn't have a man who could throw a ball. They lost the NFC Championship game because they didn't have a man on the field who could throw the ball.
Weren't they going to put McCaffrey in as quarterback?
Dude, at one point they were thinking about activating the water boy. I mean, seriously, all options were on the table when Purdy went down. I mean, a team going through 8 quarterbacks in one season is unheard of.
So let me ask you a question though. But Baltimore's defense was ranked up there too. So he beat them, and he beat them convincingly.
Yes, but let's face reality. That looked like a high school hot mess out there on that field.
I attribute that loss to the coach. That
was an offensive. That was an offensive debacle of epic proportions. I don't know how they didn't go to plan B, C, D, E, F, Z. Like, seriously, they just kept on with the same game plan, the same. It's like, this is the script. We're going to stand by the script. We're going to, I mean, look, I'll give it to Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell went ahead and he stuck to his guns on 4th downs. He stuck to his guns on things, but they didn't do anything that was different from what they did during the season. And, they were still in it. At the end of the game, they were still in it. Okay? What happened in Baltimore was an annihilation of that offense. And the fact that they did not make any changes, well, that's why heads are rolling.
All right, but let's get off the ball. Yeah, they should roll.
But at the end of the day, the defense that right now the 49ers have is dangerous. And it's dangerous because they lock down the wide receivers. So it's going to be Kelsey's game because of the fact that he knows how to get in between the linebackers and the linemen and catch that and catch that dart and catch that and catch the slants and go underneath. It's Kelsey or Kittle's game. Seriously, it's going to come down to the tight ends.
What's up, Big Philly?
Is that a cat? I looked, they goes, oh wait, it is a cat.
Yes, this is Zorro, my cat.
Oh, okay.
The fiance in the other room's moving around, so he was he perked up.
Byron, my opinion though, Byron, let me ask you a question. Yeah. I don't think San Francisco's defense has been playing to their. They haven't been playing that great. They haven't been
No,
playing
they
like they've
haven't.
been playing during the year. So I don't think
No.
that Mahomes has to worry so much about that defense. I mean, I still think it's a good defense. I think Kansas City's defense is better. What do you think, Byron?
On paper, when Nick Bosa and Chris Jones, that's a wash. The linebackers, both of them are pretty Greenlaw and Warner, both very good. Uh, the corners, yeah, they got
Snead
Kansas City, Snead and McDuffie. So they're about even, going into the game
on paper.
on paper.
Okay, but I just think he's been, in my opinion, Spags has been a genius during this playoff run. Alex?
They've executed some great game plans. I mean, I know many ways we would attribute more if Baltimore shot themselves in the foot than necessarily what Kansas City did, but Kansas City still locked them down and did what they needed to do defensively to win that ball game.
Mm-hmm. And wait a second, didn't Kansas City do the same thing to Buffalo?
They sure did.
Because Buffalo was running down their throats. It was embarrassing how Buffalo was just running down their throats, and Spag changed it and shut it down, which was my problem. Why Josh Allen didn't run the ball? That was another coaching debacle. Big Philly, what are your thoughts? Yeah, you have the green light.
Man, I'll just still disappointed with my dog. I'm just gonna stay here. Stay quiet.
No, come on, man. Come on, don't go give it like that. Come on. Uh-oh. Do we lose? We lost some. So Andre, him and his
repeat the questions. I didn't hear the question.
My question was that I think my opinion is I believe that Andre was bringing the point that San Francisco's defense, like Mahomes has more to prove because he's finally playing against a really top-rated defense, right? And I thought Baltimore had a top-rated defense, right? And it was an offensive debacle, but still, they still had a great defense. But I think San Francisco has a good defense, but they haven't been playing like they were during the year, both offensively and defensively. And my argument is that Kansas City's defense is better. Byron said that on paper they're even. My difference maker is that Spags has played. He's adjusted. He shut down Buffalo. Buffalo was running down their throats. Do you agree?
Let me ask you this. Okay. Their head coach is San Fran's head coach is
Cal Shanahan.
Shanahan.
Sorry, Cal Shanahan. All right. Last time I checked, Buffalo's head coach is a defensive-minded head coach. They had a OC that came in and took over, and Brady. I'm not going to count that game. Miami, I'm not going to count that game. Our offense completely crapped the bed, trying to be polite.
You might say they froze.
No, they didn't freeze.
Don't get him started. Don't get him started, please.
It was much worse than freezing. That was definitely an ice age that happened to that offense. But they definitely got caught in an ice age. I'm not even going to blame the cold weather, but that's just noodle arm. Then you have Baltimore. You have Jim Harbaugh. I'm not sure. Harbaugh, is he even an offensive coach? I'm not sure.
Jim Harbaugh is a defensive coach. He's
special team.
Yeah, but he's more defensive minded since he's been a head coach.
My whole point is that Spags is now facing an offensive minded coach. The weapons are obviously a lot different in San Francisco. I think they're a little bit more well-rounded. Obviously, you kind of mentioned earlier where Spags was giving up a lot of that rushing game to Buffalo at the beginning and then adjusted. They're going to have to definitely worry about Christian McCaffrey there, Debo, and how they get him involved. Kittle. Then you have to worry about Ayuk, who can stretch the field. So they have a lot of stuff to worry about on the offensive side, not just the defensive side. And I think that if Mahomes comes out and turns the ball over, even if it's just once, that might be the difference in that game. I think that the team that turns the ball over the most, the team that's going to lose this game.
Well, I would agree with you to the fact that That was the issue in all of his playoff games because he didn't turn the ball over at all.
Actually, Miami, I think they turned it over. No,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Miami,
but I think the one thing he did is
too.
he has protected the ball way better in the playoffs. Kansas
100%.
City was like a turnover magnet. Remember, also the receivers weren't catching the ball, right? So
all of a sudden, Doug Stanley put some stickum on his hands, and now he's catching T-bombs.
Now they're catching a ball. Byron.
How about this? Let's throw this out there. Nobody said anything about this guy, Kyle Shanahan. He's supposed to be the offensive guru, put anybody at quarterback, and I can win at anything, but he still hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. When he was with Atlanta, when he the offensive coordinator there, and they went up 28-3, and next it just sort of went crazy. I know he's the offensive coordinator; he didn't have nothing to do with it, but
he still had a lot to do with it.
The fact that everybody has anointed this guy the next great quarterback. I mean, the next great coach. That he's tremendous and still hasn't won one yet. What about that?
But he went to 2, right?
How many has he won?
He hasn't won any.
And they were up 10 in the fourth quarter of that one against Kansas City.
I don't think he won the Super Bowl.
No, he never did.
Not yet. He gonna win Sunday.
Here's the go. I'm gonna start a fire. He's gonna be like Don Shula, that hasn't won anything.
Why are you doing this? Don't do this. I'm gonna have to let Big Philly. Hey, there's only so much I can give to Big Philly. You're gonna have to let him come on.
You want me to come on here?
Dude, you put 2 Cubans from Miami. You put 2 Cubans from Miami, and you talk bad about Don Shula. The only thing to keep us quiet will be on medianoche.
When you start getting mad and you start talking the truth, he just beats you out. Fidel Castro.
No, I'll let. That's not true.
That's what he is.
It's not true. I just want to keep it focused. But he's the one throwing out the bombs. So the whole point, Big, is I promise you. How's this, Big Philly? I promise you and your fans that we're gonna bring you back to be able to defend your honor.
No. We're gonna do this on my show because I don't have to worry.
Oh, we can do it. But now we got to come on your show, and Byron never comes on
I
shows.
have all of y'all on my show.
Okay, well, come on your show. I also got to give
no Fidel you eat.
I gotta.
Socialismo no sirve, man.
No. Time out. The only ways I'm doing that is I want to stay focused on the Super Bowl, and I love you, Big Philly, but you have shiny nickel syndrome. Right, we'll go down the line, and we'll be talking about Aaron Rodgers soon, and then I don't want to get in. We're talking about the Super Bowl.
Oh, we talking about Aaron Rodgers.
That's my point.
Hey, hold on.
That's all I got to do.
Hold on.
The name, and you're like, right,
Big Philly. Oye, Big Philly, yo creo que tú tienes arroz con frijoles negro detrás de ti. Go ahead and eat some of that for a little bit while we continue about the Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's funny. But
I don't even know where you're going with that, but okay.
Hey, I'm hungry too, bro. It's all good.
I'm not hungry, but okay.
But anyways, look, Bill Philly, we'll do it on your show and we'll do it on our show because I think it's only fair, right? Because this was the show you were on, so I'm gonna have you on and then I'm gonna let you go. But I won't get you. I won't get you out. I was messing with you. So I promise you that, right? I do owe it to you because Byron.
It's okay. We'll just keep you a political prisoner.
Byron likes starting fires and he keeps doing it, and then I started a fire and we keep pouring gas on it, and then it's
pour the gas on it. Pour it on there.
And that's not fair to our guests, so I don't want to do that. I apologize.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back. What are the So Big Phil, I'm gonna let you go first. One, who are you picking, and what are the keys to success?
San Fran.
And what are their keys? What are the keys?
Like Coach B just said, Kyle Shanahan is going to be the key to success. Unlike Mike McDaniels, that could be tough. But no, on a serious note, Christian will be a huge key there. Keep getting involved on being able to move the ball downfield, using the run game, attacking that Kansas City front four. Realizing Christian McCaffrey would be that my first key. Getting George Kittle involved. He's been kind of quiet, but I think that he's elusive and he can be very physical and can pound that secondary there with some physical hits, kind of get them thinking twice going over the middle. to hit Kittle. And lastly, stretching the field with IU is my third key to victory there. Stretching the field. It's going to be tough, though. I respect Speed a lot. He did a lot this year, but I think he's going to be focused more on Debo. So it's gonna leave Brandon Ayuk, the speedster, open to stretch the field. So I think those are big three keys to victory offensively for San Francisco. If they do all three of those and they protect the ball, protect Purdy, protect the ball, and turn the ball over, I think that they win this game.
Okay, great. Byron, what do you think the key? Who are you selecting? Who are the keys to victory?
This is sad to say, but I'm throwing it out there. The Kansas City Chiefs, Pacheco, as far as, being able to run the ball, on the 49ers, Kelsey getting open, working the middle of the field, and the X factor, if he plays, is Kadarius Toney. It's a shame that I got to throw the guy. He might play.
Let's go.
This guy's gonna mess around and get two. Yeah, I know it's sad to say he's gonna mess around and get 2 Super Bowls because he's either gonna, something in the special team, as far as him returning the punt, or just the because he's been going back and forth with the Giant fans. They're in his head again, and so him having a big factor, in the game if he plays.
Okay, Alex, who you picking? Keys to victory.
I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs.
Said he was hungry. Just saying.
Yeah, that's why I put him on mute. I think he's eating.
Again,
I'm taking the Chiefs. And while I would have no reason to believe that they're in theory the better team, what about the season has shown that it's not the Chiefs that are going to win this game? I mean, how many times they've almost been doubted, especially in the postseason, and they continue. At the end of the day, they find a way to win, and I think they will finally stop the run, which that was the thing Baltimore didn't do. Well, granted, they didn't run, but I think Kansas City heard that, and they're going to really, I think, dial up the pressure on the rush defense. I can't talk. I think they're going to stop the run, and I think Kansas City wins. Not like blowout. I think it'll be close.
So Kansas City, San Francisco. Andre, unmute.
Hey, sorry.
Yeah, bro. We couldn't tell if you were eating frijoles or you were plastering the ceilings, bro. So there's no double duty on my show. So what's the deal?
Hey, man, right, so big man's got to eat.
Okay, yeah. See, Philly called it. Philly said it. He said, Big Philly said he's talking about me, but con frijoles. Look at, he's saying, see that? But now Big Philly's
I got my nuggets ready.
Who are you picking, and what are the keys to victory?
I think we are going to see another Kansas City Chiefs win.
And what are the keys to victory?
I think it really comes down to, as Byron put it, Pacheco and Kelsey. Some special teams is going to be nice, but I really think that underneath, it's going to be. I honestly don't see Nick Bosa getting to Mahomes fast enough to mess that up.
Okay. So, okay, great. All right, well, here we go. Here's my pick. I'm going with Kansas City. And here's one reason is I'm 0 for 3 going against Patrick Mahomes, so I ain't going against him again. Number one. Okay.
The doubters wrong.
Number two, I want to stick to my point that I said earlier in the year. Out of all the teams that had the ability to turn it on, if they would turn it on, would be Kansas City. I don't think Kadarius Toney's going to play. I think that he's a distraction, and they've already proven they didn't need him at all. They haven't played. He's going to get his second Super Bowl, and they need him at all. The keys to victory, I believe, again, is what you guys said. It's going to be Pacheco. They're going to need to run that ball. I think the keys to victory on both sides is going to be turnovers, right? I don't think that we're at the level right now in the playoffs that the team that wins the turnover game seems to win, right? And as much as I like Brock Purdy, I just, when it comes down to it, Byron, let's say if I go with what you said, the defense is even on paper, then you got to go to the offense, right? Shanahan may be a genius, but if you go to the offense, it all starts with the head of the snake, and that's the quarterback. if I got to pick a quarterback over one quarterback over the other, Patrick Mahomes versus Purdy, it's untouchable, right? So I think they're going to win the third. They're going to become a dynasty. I think Spags is just playing brilliant defense. And when I say that, meaning it's not that he's playing just brilliant defense. He's adjusting quickly, where that was my problem when Philly lost their Super Bowl. They never adjusted, right? Spags has adjusted. He's changed it up. So that's who I'm picking, and that's what I believe the keys to victory. I think Kelsey's going to have a big game because his girl's going to fly in a jet from Japan. So I think he's going to have a big game.
Who's paying for that jet? Who's paying for it?
She is.
She is her own private jet.
It's hers. It's hers. It's like your truck, Byron. She's got a jet.
Oh, no, you gotta rub it in. You gotta rub it in.
I'm not rubbing it in. I don't have a jet.
I feel like you're rubbing it in.
She's got 4 jets.
She's
got 4 jets.
No. They just said she downsized. She went downsized to 1.
Oh, so modest and humble of her. Only 1.
She downsized to 1, and then you know that the families don't get tickets; they got to pay for that. So she's got to get her own suite. So the Kelsey family,
the suite is $2.5 million. For a suite.
Like
one night on the Eras tour,
dude. She's getting paid $200 million. She got paid $250 million for a show.
The Eras concert series made over $1.3 billion.
Yeah,
the stupid movie almost hit $1 billion.
Yeah. She made $250 million in a day. So 2.5 million. She's not worried about a suite.
I wouldn't pay for no suite, man.
Hey man, I'm all for Kelsey becoming a stay-at-home dad.
This is getting so big. This is getting so big that they had a report that the where the jets fly in, that Las Vegas is really trying to get that in control. They have over 1,000 private jets flying into this game.
Yeah,
they're actually parking the jets outside in neighboring cities because there's no more room to park the jets.
I mean, think about it. This is the first Super Bowl in Vegas, which again, a statement that almost in our lifetime we would have never thought even 10 years ago. And now the way that the culture of sports and gambling has shifted, now to have this moment, it's of course they're going to have like a lot of people in Vegas. There's going to be some great parties on Friday night.
Oh man, it's
expensive party.
They've already started.
Byron, how dangerous do you think? Let's go from a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the most dangerous, 1 being the least. Let's just go around the panel. How dangerous do you think it is for the players to be in Vegas for the Super Bowl, Byron?
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think it's bad. They know the rules. They're not.
Bro, it's easy. 1 to 5.
1.
Wow. Alex?
Now, quick question. Is it any NFL player or those playing in the game?
The guys playing in the game. Come on. It's about the game.
I'm giving it a 4.
Huh? You going to give it what?
I'm going to give it a 4. Like Patrick Mahomes is not going to be stupid enough to be at like.
Yeah, but there's 57 players. I'm not talking about the stars, So you give it a 4. 4 is pretty high.
Like 800,000 who's thinking
Big
about
Philly?
It.
I mean, I'm not worried about the betting aspect, especially when you see guys that did for the betting. You're in Vegas. I'm more worried about that.
Well, 1 to 5. How dangerous do you think it is
for on the betting and party aspect? I know they're there with the team and they got curfew, but I mean, it is party town. You look what drugs. That DUI speeding killed that poor girl. So I do think about things like that. Although Andy Reid's got his guys pretty well tucked in there, and so does San Fran and Kyle Shanahan. But I do agree that not just them, but the players that are there right now that are interviewing, guys that are watching games, that are doing NFL stuff, meet and greets. Those guys too, for their respected teams, are also at risk. I think going there, especially with the betting aspect. Through the betting side, look what Buddy Bourne just got hit with. You know, and those what is it, 200 or 7,000 bets that he made with the Patriots under aliases. Didn't even
Booty Booty, Kayvon Booty.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that
Andre,
my
1 to
God.
5. What do you think? the danger-
-7.
I
Really?
think not a danger at all.
Let me explain this. As someone who's been in the profession, those guys are not going to be leaving anyone's sight.
Okay.
There will always be security next to them. There will always they've shut down whole floors of hotels and converted suites into family living areas so that they can meet and greet with their families. The level of security is better than the one for the president right now, because they only worry about one guy when it comes to the president. They are worrying about a staff of 126. And I'm not saying just the players. I'm saying everybody, from athletic trainers
I
to
got
the
you.
water bottle boys.
This is the
Everybody's
longest
covered.
poll I've ever had in my life.
Negative.
I mean,
negative.
I asked,
7.
give me 1 to 5. That's it, and I'm getting like this.
You
whole
asked for it, though.
You asked for it.
I asked for give me 1 to 5. That's it. I didn't say give me an explanation. All right, so I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4 plus 4.5. So we're clear. Do you guys not remember when the Super Bowl was here and one of the players got caught on Biscayne Boulevard picking up a lady of the evening?
Was that
That's legal in
something?
Vegas. It's legal there.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying to you, not the superstars. Yeah, but that was a major star that got busted. I think Vegas is dangerous for. It's dangerous. It's going to be dangerous. Some of the players. I hope nothing happens, and I hope they got the security that Byron says. But long story short, but I think the combination of sitting at the table, maybe you're not doing anything, but you're betting all night and you're losing. You got women coming up. I mean, these kids are young, playing their first Super Bowl in Las Vegas. So anyhow, I think it's
apparently they have a rule that no NFL player, whether in the Super Bowl or just doing media, can't enter a casino during the big. Not that it won't happen, but there's a rule that they're not allowed.
they're gonna have the dealer come to their room.
No, they have a video already out of Kelsey's brother gambling on the blackjack table.
Hey,
That's-
he's retired. He's not active anymore. Remember?
He is active, hypothetically.
He's not retired,
Not yet.
Not yet.
but he's in the table like what Big
But
Philly
is
said.
that a
All right,
private-
gentlemen, this is good. So we got 4 for Kansas City, 1 for San Francisco. Either team, I don't have a race, a horse in the race. So my Giants are watching and eating chicken wings and
I'm
stuff.
just saying, the last time I was on this show and y'all bet against me, I won, and I bet for your Giants.
No, it's right. That's right. You did, and but you were also in shock that we went against. I went against.
I was
the
more in
Giants.
shock that the entire panel went against the Giants.
Oh, but look,
We do it.
time
We do it
out.
all the time.
Look how far the Packers went. The Packers are going to be dangerous for the years to come. They're young, and they're playing some good football. I will give them LaFleur credit. I'm going to give Jordan Love credit, and I think. What did you say, Byron? They're all like under 27. That
They're
whole
young.
team.
Yeah, very young team.
I mean, that's a young, talented team. Obviously, they'll take, so they got to win quick because everybody's going to want to get paid. But at the end of the day, it's a talented team. Well, gentlemen, thank you again for booking the Jersey Boys Shirt Shop. Big Silly, can you tell us about your show, when to come, and what time is it at, when they can see it?
So it's going to be Wednesday nights at 8:30 right here on Miami Fan Talk Network. And when we do get our player interviews, it's called The Journey on Miami Fan Talk Network. And that's typically Friday nights at 8:30. So tune in.
Tune in. Please check in the link below. We're going to have a link to his show. Please subscribe to his
I'm
show.
not Fidel Castro, guys. I don't move people at all.
That's what they
Yeah.
want you to say.
Yeah, but I'm also not a shiny nickel. All
I
right.
ain't sorry. I'm round.
Between you and Andres, it's difficult to have one of you on the show. Having both of you on the show, he's talking to you about eating and he's stuffing his mouth as we're talking.
Right? And I haven't
And you haven't moved.
moved.
And I didn't know whether he was plastering
In fact-
I thought he had a bowl. He had a bowl that I thought he was plastering a tree, or he had food in it. He ended up having food in it. Anyways, Byron, so tune in next week to our show. It's every Thursday at what time, Byron? 8 o'clock. All
8
right.
o'clock.
8 o'clock live on Facebook, live on YouTube. We're going to
8
be
o'clock.
we're on Spotify, Stitcher. Please subscribe to the show. I want to say thank you to David Burns and my fraternity brother Greg Bonafarte for tuning in. They all rooting for Pacheco. Hey guys, David or Greg, if you're out there, who your picks, let me know. Andres, welcome back. We want to get some more of your analysis because I truly believe I want to have that next discussion with us. Remember, I told you I think that the analysis, even though it's good, it's going to catch up on us. And I think some of these guys that are sticking to their guns with the analysis in the fourth downs, it's starting to come back. It's coming back to bite them, in my opinion. They're not going with their guts. They're going with football's a game of feel. Every sport is how you feel, if you're hot or not. So anyhow, gentlemen, also don't forget we have a great app in the bottom called Gravy Stack. And we're going to get this going. Thank you very much. God bless all your families. Tune into Big Philly's show. Andres, hopefully we see you again. Alex, you're always welcome. You bring a lot of heat. Byron is our what do you call it? Our journeyman, or what do you call the guy? Remember they call Cal Ripken the Iron Man. But Byron's the Iron Man. Byron has never missed a show in 4 years. So
well, he's also the parole officer, so yeah.
He's
correct.
He wasn't a parole officer, sheriff.
You can tell me there's a dictator than a parole officer.
Huh? He's a sheriff. Sheriff.
Oh, sheriff.
Yeah.
He's my parole officer there.
So Vic is a dictator. It's general.
Right. It's my show.
Oh my God.
Hey, yeah, that's right. So, but you guys did a great job. I really appreciate it. Big Philly, you're always welcome. We love your show as well. We love the I'm happy for the Dolphins. So we tune in next week. We're gonna start getting ready to ran this out. And guys, what do you got? Okay, last thing. What is your food of choice for the Super Bowl? Byron, I kind of know yours, but I want you to go first.
Well, I'm going to be in Myrtle Beach on Sunday, so it's going to be whatever I can get down there. So it might be some seafood kind of thing that I'm going to have going on.
All righty. Alex?
One that my uncle generally makes when we get together, it's called, I think it's like Gilly's chili or something, but it's a chili dip that has, I think, a layer of sour cream on the top. It's very good.
Awesome. Big Philly?
I don't know this year. The past 2 years, I've smoked the brisket.
You're talking Andre. You and Andre do good in food.
I don't know if I want to do another brisket this year because I've done it the past 2 years. I might do like a short rib, or maybe a ribeye.
Do a tomahawk. Come on, do a tomahawk.
I've done it. I've done that too. It's like I like challenge. I'm not gonna.
Andres, what's your food of choice?
It will be the 22nd consecutive year that I make my super nachos.
Oh, super nachos. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
What's in a super nachos? Fast. We got to go.
Super fire.
Man, there's 9 layers, bro.
All right.
There's 9 layers. But basically half of the lasagna tray has pulled pork on top. The other half has ground beef. That's it.
Well, okay, I'm gonna give you my food of choice, and I'm so glad because I'm not the one cooking it. My wife makes this cheeseburger ring. It's incredible. It's like the bread that you make out of the little crescent roll. Yeah, she makes this tire ring, but a cheeseburger ring. So when you cut into it, it's got pickles, it's got everything, and oh my God. It's incredible. It's incredible. So that's what we may have. But she's got another recipe that she came up that's similar. It's like a quesadilla flipped upside down that turns into a cheeseburger. So I always like that kind. But I have to use turkey meat because I got to lower my cholesterol.
Well, maybe when your nephew comes in town, you could ask you could tell his tia to make it for her favorite nephew.
All right, that's what we'll do. All right, gentlemen, we're gonna start wrapping this up. You have a great night. God bless your families. We'll talk soon, and I love you guys. Thanks, man. All right, let's get this bad boy going. Boom.